Jeff Sessions has resigned as Attorney General. We want to continue this conversation and bring in Seth Waxman. He's a former federal prosecutor joining us by phone. Seth, give us your reaction to this announcement. It was long anticipated, but are there going to be any ramifications, good or bad, from the president waiting until after the midterms for Jeff Sessions to leave his post?
Well, this is a significant step, no doubt, and one of the biggest things that obviously raises the specter in question of how this is going to impact the Mueller investigation. So one has to wonder whether the new person in place, Matt Whitaker, who has expressed a lot of doubt about the special counsel and the scope of the investigation, whether Mr. Whitaker will either move to clip Bob Mueller's wings by essentially saying that the investigation should come to a halt in one way or the other, or move to get rid of Mr. Mueller or his office in total. So there could be some serious ramifications from this move, and you wonder whether you could be looking at another Saturday Night Massacre scenario as we saw in the Nixon administration.
Seth, we're just going to bring in Kevin Cirilli, our White House correspondent, chief White House correspondent with us in New York. And Kevin, what are we likely to see in terms of a global reaction to this? Because I'm not seeing much of a market reaction.
I mean, this is kind of expected. I mean, if you think back within the past couple of months in particular, you saw some folks, key Republicans in the Senate in particular, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Senator Lindsey Graham, all kind of say that on their timeline for a replacement for the Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, could actually happen in January. This kind of fits with that. We also saw the president forecast some significant changes in his administration at his press conference as early as today. Now, the name that immediately comes to mind as a replacement is Darrell Issa. He is the controversial conservative that Democrats would call controversial conservative from California, who, I can tell you from my own reporting, I've spoken with sources close to him, who, he's been spotted on Capitol Hill meeting with senators for that key confirmation process that he'd have to take a look on. But we should note, in terms of what this could mean from a policy standpoint, it's not just the Russia investigation. The AG, the Attorney General, also has jurisdiction over a host of various different issues. Of course, the marijuana industry is one that immediately comes to mind as well.
Absolutely. So, Seth, pick up on that point, because going past the Russia investigation, what does a change in Attorney General mean for how the White House, the Trump administration, proceeds with other areas?
Yeah, I mean, I find that interesting, and that Jeff Sessions was pretty much lockstep with Mr. Trump throughout all of his decision-making and all of his policies. So there's never been an allegation that Mr. Sessions didn't carry out the president's policies and goals in other contexts. The main complaint, of course, has been the Russia investigation. So while there may be some shifts here and there in other areas outside the Russia investigation, to me, this in large part has to do with the Russia investigation and trying to potentially place someone in that spot that could curtail or potentially end that investigation.
Seth Waxman, former federal prosecutor, joining us by phone. Thank you so much for your instant analysis of the resignation of Jeff Sessions as Attorney General.